come to the fridge. What food was I looking for? I wonder, did I want some eggs? No, I didn't want eggs. That's not what I was looking for. Did I want mayonnaise? Then I have to find something to put it on first. No, that's not what I was looking for. Is it this? Yogurt, maybe. Nah, I don't feel like yogurts either. Not chili sauce. No jam. Ooh, cheese, maybe. Maybe cheese was what I was looking for. But I don't know, that's not quite it. Oh, hi guys. Welcome to Sunday school today. Now, I know that we're supposed to be doing Sunday school at the moment, but I was just really hungry and I thought I needed a quick snack before we started. But the problem is, I don't remember what it is I was looking for, what I wanted to eat. And that's a bit of a problem because I'm really hungry, but I seem to have forgotten. But I suppose maybe it's a good thing because it kind of helps me with the lesson today. You know, today is Worship Sunday at Sunday School, which means we're going to spend some time worshiping God. But we're also going to take some time to remember some of the things that we've learned over the past 4 weeks. Because if you're like me, you've probably forgotten 1 or 2 things that we learned, just like I've forgotten what food I wanted. And you know, it's really important for us to remember and put into practice the lessons we learn at Sunday school because they help us become better people and better Christians, and they grow our relationship with God. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'll tell you what, let's go on a bit of a journey trying to find what it is I was thinking about eating, and then as we do that, we'll do some worship and we'll teach some of the lessons and remind ourselves about what we've learned. So let's go do that. I'll see you in the next cupboard maybe, or in the next place in my kitchen as we keep looking for what it is I want to eat. Cool, bye. No food in here either. Oh, hey guys. So I'm in my microwave at the moment because I thought surely there's some food in the microwave from my last meal, some leftovers. But it turns out there's no food here. So anyway, while we're here, let's talk about some of the lessons we've learned over the last few weeks. We've been in a season called Lent, and we're coming toward the end of that season now. So in the last few weeks, we've had a whole bunch of lessons that are important to remember. Let's look at the first 2 lessons now. So in week number 1, we had a message titled Living for Jesus. And you'll remember that in that week, Robin baked some awesome banana muffins. You remember that? Yeah, and she had a recipe that she used. And we spoke about how that recipe for banana muffins kind of reminds us of how the Bible is like a recipe book for living a good Christian life, and how we need to follow the ingredients in a recipe in order to make good banana muffins. We need to follow the ingredients in the Bible for a good Christian life. And you'll remember I used Galatians chapter 5 to talk about some of those good ingredients, right? But then, you know, when you're making banana muffins, you have a main ingredient in order to do that. And the main ingredient is what? Well, bananas. That's right. Okay. And you need bananas in order to make banana muffins. And that also told us that in the Bible, there is a main ingredient for living a good Christian life. And that main ingredient is Jesus. Yeah, and when you have Jesus, all the other ingredients work together to make a good Christian life. Just like when you have banana, it works together with all the other ingredients to make good banana muffins. But then you'll remember that Robin wanted to add some bad ingredients into her banana muffins, and we thought, ew, gross, why would she do that? But remember, she didn't actually end up doing it because we knew that wasn't going to make them taste nice. And that reminds us that there are some things in our lives, some bad ingredients, the sin that we've been talking about, that if we add it to our Christian life, it's going to make it look weird. Just like those bad ingredients will make the banana muffins taste weird. And so we spoke about how we shouldn't add those ingredients. But as a last lesson, we also spoke about how if we do that, we know we can come to Jesus to ask him to forgive us. And that was a really, really cool lesson. It told us about the good news. Yeah? Okay, and so week number 2, we had a message titled, Jesus Washes Me Clean. And you'll remember, Russell was going to a birthday party and he needed to wash up, and so he used mud to wash his face because he thought it was going to make him clean. But it turned out that mud only makes you dirty. Yeah, I hope you remember that. That was a fun lesson. I enjoyed watching Russell do that. But then KG, one of our Sunday school teachers, spoke about that and taught us a lesson about Noah and the ark, and how there were lots of bad people in the world who were doing lots of bad stuff, and God had to deal with all this bad stuff and wipe away, wash clean the world from all this bad stuff. So he sent a flood, and he asked Noah to build this big ark so that him and his family and some of the animals would be safe from this big, big flood that came for 40 days and 40 nights. And that kind of pointed us many, many, many years in the future. The flood kind of told us of something that was going to come one day, and how even though people would still do bad stuff and God would want to clean that bad stuff, God didn't want to send a flood again. So what he did is he sent Jesus, who comes like the waters of the flood to wash away all the sin in the world. But this time, Jesus came and he took all of the punishment for our sin. We didn't have to take that punishment. He died on a cross, and because he died on a cross, you and I can accept his death, and then he rose again and we accept his resurrection. And because of that, Jesus forgives our sins. He washes us white as snow. He washed us clean from all that sin. All we need to do is accept that. So guys, that was the lesson from week 2. Jesus washes me clean. We know that God isn't going to send a flood again, but he sent Jesus to wash away our sin. And all we need to do is say, yes, Lord, we accept that and believe in him and follow him. And then we can be in a relationship with God. And that is really, really good news. All right, guys, I tell you what, my stomach is growling. I'm getting really hungry. So how about this? You guys go off into some worship for 2 songs, and then after that you can join me as we continue looking for the food that I was thinking about. But in the meantime, while you're worshiping, I'm going to think, where did I put it? So I'll see you back here just now, or in another place in my kitchen. Bye. Any food in this cupboard over here. Guys, the problem carries on. I don't know where this food is that I was thinking about. This is my cupboard, one of the cupboards in my kitchen. And there's still no food here. What am I gonna do? I'm so hungry, guys. Oh well. While we're here, let's talk about the last 2 weeks of the season of Lent. In week 3, we spoke about loving God and loving people. And you remember in that lesson, Robin did this really awesome thing where she broke down a whole tower of Tupperware. She took a tennis ball and it was like everywhere. Yeah, and it was really, really cool. And we spoke about how it's really fun to break stuff, but only the stuff that we're allowed to break. There's some things that we really shouldn't break. And those things are like, we shouldn't break God's heart, and we shouldn't break people's heart. And in that lesson, Robin spoke to us about different things and gave us some examples about different things that we do sometimes, the bad stuff, the sin, that breaks God's heart and breaks people's heart. We spoke about lying and how that's not good. We spoke about being disobedient to our parents and how that's not good, and maybe stealing and how that's not good, bullying people, that's not good. We shouldn't do those things. Why? Because they break God's heart and they break people's hearts. In fact, we shouldn't be spending our time breaking people down at all. We should be spending our time building people up, because that is what Jesus did, and he wants us to do the same thing. But, we're not perfect. And as we have every week, we spoke about how Jesus forgives us if we ask him for forgiveness. And then he helps us to do better, to live better Christian lives. So that was week number 3. Then week number 4 was how Jesus lights the way. Yeah, and you remember in that lesson we had Andrew, who was blindfolded and he had to make his way through some rocks, you remember? Yeah. And how it was going to be easy, and then suddenly he was blindfolded and he didn't know what to do, and we were worried that he was going to be tripped up. But then somebody came, Michael, Andrew's brother, and led him safely through the rocks and then took the blindfold off. And we spoke about how sin, the bad stuff that we do, is sometimes like those rocks and like that blindfold. Sin, like rocks, can trip us up, and sin, like blindfolds, can sometimes stop us from seeing how best to live and stop us from seeing Jesus. And that's not good. But thankfully, God, even though he had this problem, he sent Jesus into the world. He wanted to be in relationship with us, but we had this blindfold. So he sent Jesus to come and to lead us through the rocks, through the bad stuff in our lives, and then ultimately take the blindfold off so that we could see how best to live for him and so that we could see him in our lives. And that's really, really, really cool. And the only thing that you and I need to do is say, yes, Lord, come into my life, Lord. Lead me through and take the blindfold off so that I can see. And you remember I had that torch, the cell phone torch, and I was looking for peanuts and raisins in my car. Yeah, because it's important not to only look at the light, but to also use the light to help us see. It's great that we see Jesus in our lives, but because of Jesus, we also need to then look into our lives and look at how best we can live for him and love other people. Jesus lights the way for us, which is really, really awesome. But guys, the problem still persists. I need food, my stomach is growling, and I don't know what to do. So I tell you what, now that I've recapped all the lessons, how about this? You guys go off into a time of worship, another 2 songs, okay? And then we're going to have a very special guest, her name is Jocelyn, who's going to teach us how to prepare for Easter. Some things we can do to prepare for Easter, because now we've finished Lent and we're going to head off into Easter. So that's really exciting. And I think by the time we come back, I would have found the food I was looking for. So let's go do that. See you in a little bit. Bye.
With it being Easter time, you may want to consider making an Easter garden. I do this every year. I start off at the beginning of Lent, which is before Ash Wednesday, and I make up a scenery and I plant grass seeds so that I can give them some time to grow. Have a look how my grass seeds are growing. We have only a couple of weeks till Easter at this stage, so it might be too late to plant grass seeds. But you could make up your scenery and take grass and plants and stuff from your actual garden and plant it up like I have here. So this is some grass from my garden. This is some of the hen and chickens. I've got some more different grasses here. The other thing you can do is, as you're driving around the suburbs, is that you could stop by at the guys who are selling grass at the side of the roads and buy a section of grass that you could then use. So what does one need? You need a base for your Easter garden. You can use like a pot plant holder thing like I've got here, or I use this plastic meat container You need something that will be waterproof to hold the water. You'll need something to be a tomb, so to be the cave that Jesus was buried in. So what you then do is you take your holder, you place your tomb part wherever you want it to go. And then on top of that, like I've done here, there's my tomb there. You would put some soil or ground, or if you bought the grass strip, you would then place the grass strip all over it to cover it. Okay, so you would then take it and cover it over this section here. Then you would need to make your 3 crosses. So the way to make the cross, having got in 2 pieces of sticks, tie them together with some string, or I'm using some plastic ropey stuff, tie a knot to hold the 2 together, and then twist around to make sure that it is secure and doesn't become too wibbly wobbly. Okay, so then you have your cross then done. You will also require to find a stone or a rock or something that you can use to cover your tomb, because remember, once Jesus is crucified and taken off and placed in the tomb, they put a big stone in front. So on Good Friday, you can put a big stone in front of your tomb like I have there, and then obviously on Easter Sunday, we remove the stone. From a setup story point of view, you would add your 3 crosses to your Easter garden on Good Friday. So I'm going to put those in and I'll show it to you now. So there are my 3 crosses added to my scenery. And then what I like to do as well is I found some sticks or grass and I make the crown of thorns. I made this up some time ago and it was actually made, it was green, it's now dried out, so it looks like a crown of thorns. And I then hang it on Jesus's cross to symbolize the fact that he wore the crown of thorns. And then on Good Friday, because we're mourning the death of Jesus, I then hang black ribbon, I'll get that onto my cross there. I hope you can see it there. And then again, as I said, once it's been placed in, you put the rock in front of your tomb, so it becomes like that. So you've got the rock in front of the tomb, you've got 3 crosses, and you've got then the black ribbon, which I then put on Jesus' cross because it's his death that we are mourning, and then obviously his crown of thorns as well. And then what I do on Easter Sunday is I remove the tombstone, I remove the black, and I then replace it with white, which is a celebration color. I remove the crown of thorns, and that's how I tell the story of Easter over the Easter weekend with my Easter garden. Hope you have fun making one. Cheers, bye.
Hey guys, well, good to see you over here. I hope you enjoyed your worship and your time of just recapping and going over the lessons for today. I've got some good news. I found it. I found the food that I was looking for. You want to know what it is? Check it out. Oh, my cheese snacks. That's the food I was thinking about the whole time. And you know where I found it? In the washing machine. I mean, I don't know why my cheese snacks were in the washing machine. I don't know what they were doing there, but hey, I found them. So, guys, if you don't mind, I'm gonna be eating my snacks now because I'm so hungry. And oh, so good. I'm gonna love and leave you guys. Until the next time, have an awesome week, and I will see you next time. Bye.